Imagine being locked in a cage and only being used for painful experiments, which are often conducted without any painkillers. Imagine having to suffer through experiments such as being exposed to drugs or chemicals at various levels, which can lead to pain, distress, or even death. Imagine being purposely wounded or burned just to study healing. And imagine being electrocuted, being deprived of food and water just to purposely cause distress. And after being subjected to countless painful experiments, imagine being killed just because you're not needed anymore. According to the Humane Society International, this is a typical life of animals used in animal experimentation. Animal experimentation is an issue that has been a widely debated topic, not only in the United States, but around the world. A 2018 Pew Research showed that Americans are divided over their support in using animals for scientific experimentation. While 50% of Americans oppose it, 47% of Americans favor using animals for experimentation. When I began researching for this speech, I learned that animal experimentation goes beyond the ethical aspect and has an impact on the health of humans as well, which is why I believe that this issue is something that we need to fix. Today, I will explain the issue with animal experimentation and explain why animal experimentation does more harm than good. Then I will provide alternative solutions to animal experimentation, which will benefit both humans and animals. Let's start by looking at the scope of this problem. The use of animal experimentation has always been a hot topic because many have credited animal testing for the advancement in medicine as well as other scientific research and breakthroughs. However, others still see the ethical dilemma in using animals for experiments. Animals that are used for testing are often neglected and abused. According to Sentiment Media, over 100 million animals are burned, poisoned, abused, and crippled in labs all across the United States each year. These animals include dogs, cats, monkeys, mice, and rats, among others. The animals usually all end up with the same fate, whether it's the result of the experiment or because they're not useful anymore, which is death. According to Bellmans, many believe that animal experimentation is ethical because many times the benefits from animal experimentation outweighs the pain of the animals. According to a periodical written by David Thomas, the pain that animals go through has been described as being worse than humans because animals do not have the ability to understand that their pain will eventually come to an end, which leads to an increased risk of physical and psychological torture for them. There is also the argument that there are laws put in place to protect the welfare of the animals used in experiments. However, according to the Animal Legal Defense Fund, between 85 and 95% of animals are not legally protected. It is important to point out that animals are still living beings, and they do not consent to being part of these experiments. Another problem that arises from animal experimentation is that the results can be unreliable. The main reason that animals are used for experimentation is because of the similarities between humans and other species of animals. However, it is important to point out that at the end of the day, humans are not the same as the other animals used in testing, which often leads to unreliable results that might have a negative impact on humans. This was highlighted in a research conducted by Aisha Akar, which highlighted examples of when a positive result was reached after testing on animals, but the results led to human suffering. One example occurred in 2006 when an immunomodulatory drug called TGN-1412 was found to have no ill effect on mice, rabbits, and rats, but resulted in the all-human volunteers to suffer severe adverse reaction, which resulted in a life-threatening cytokine storm, which led to a systematic organ failure. According to Sentiment Media, another example of this case is when a drug used to treat arthritis called Vioxx was found to be safe after testing on monkeys and 5 other different species of animals, but ended up resulting in 320,000 heart attacks and strokes and 140,000 deaths in the world in humans. Now that I have described the problems of animal experimentation, what can be done to fix it? New alternatives have been introduced for animal testing. According to Sentiment Media, these alternatives include human cells and tissues, 3D printing, computer modeling, and much more. There are regulatory organizations and federal laws that give protection to animals being tested and ensure compliance with the laws. But as stated by the Animal Legal Defense Fund, many times these oversight committees give lots of leeway to laboratories, which often leads to self-regulation. I propose a change in the oversight committees that will add stricter enforcement to the laws regarding the welfare of the animals. I also believe that in order for researchers to move to alternative testing, the federal government should place its energy in alternative research methods and use alternative research as their main priority instead of animal testing. These solutions will help fix the problem because it will allow for alternative testing to be given more attention, which will benefit the welfare of animals and the health of humans. Alternative testing has proven to work. For example, according to the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences, due to the advanced computer programs, computers are able to predict the toxicity level of a chemical, which reduces the need for animal testing. In conclusion, animal experimentation has many negative effects to both humans and animals, and there are ways that testing can be shifted away from the use of animals. Animals are living beings that feel and hurt the same way as us humans do. Technology is too far advanced for us to continue torturing animals for human needs. Thank you.